This is in response to Dr. Paul Krugman's article in the New York Times on Friday, March 27th, 2015, Mornings in Blue America. Now, Dr. Krugman is a little play on words here. He's taking a Ronald Reagan ad from 1984, which was called Mornings in America, where we had a fair amount of job growth in late 1983 and early 1984, which helped propel him back into the presidency with quite the mandate, so to speak, which the ad was Mornings in America. And Dr. Krugman wants to bring up 2 points in reference to that, is that the Affordable Care Act is now 1 year old. And in that particular time frame, from when it started till just recently, that 1 year time frame, 3.3 million jobs were created in the United States. Very significant. Very significant to all of our Republican friends who have called Obamacare, the ACA, a job killer. And that's a job killer. That's what's going to go down. Now, the second part about that is that 1.5 million of those jobs were created in California. All right. Remember, California is run by Jerry Brown, that socialist from the 1970s who ran for president in '76, who's governor of California, who has raised taxes. All right, and they have seen higher job growth than what is in Texas. Remember, Texas was bragging at one point they were getting more jobs than California because California was laid down by way too many taxes, way too many environmental regulations. So Texas's big ploy is, yeah, our educational system sucks. Our pollution is higher than anywhere else in the country. We have more uninsured people, not only as a number, but as a percentage than basically any other state, but come to our state because we have low taxes. So California is now doing better than Texas. And the Affordable Care Act had 3.3 million jobs. Now, what do progressives, what do Democrats, what do liberals look at this as? Are we sitting there going, oh my God, look how great this is? Now, does that mean that Obama, President Obama, and Jerry Brown, the governor of California, that they're crown worthy? They're going to put a crown on their head and bow down to them saying, look at how great a job you did? No, we're not doing that. That's what you were hired to do, is to take care of the average working person, to help them make their life better all the way around. Now, this increase in jobs of 3.3 million has political implications in the sense that we're coming up on 216, and it's very hard to indicate that Obamacare is failing when you have 3.3 million jobs and you call it a job killer and it has 3.3 million jobs. So what are the things that our friends on the Republican side are going to be talking about? They're going to be talking about, number one, or continue to talk about the Obama Derangement Syndrome, ODS, whereas number one, Obama's a Marxist, he's a communist, he's a fascist, he's a socialist, he's a Kenyan, he's a Muslim, and all of the things that they're associated with that. And basically that is to indicate that he is not worthy of being president, and if he's not worthy or capable of being president, then anything that he proposes and anything he does must be trashed. And that would also indicate that this is also the Republican theory about themselves, is that only they are the ones who can bring about the type of job growth that can really make America great. Now, Dr. Krugman goes to point out that only a couple times, and Rand Paul had said, whoever created 2 million jobs plus in a year, that was Ronald Reagan. And Dr. Krugman points out, well, wait a second, that's really not true. Is that there were more than 2 million jobs were created several times in the Bill Clinton administration, 2 times in the George Bush administration, and now 3 times in the Obama administration. 2 million jobs plus per year. And we're on track to do that in 2015, and maybe we're on track to do that in 2016. That would mean 5 times in the Obama administration, but only 2 times in the George Bush administration, were the 2 million plus jobs created in a single year. Now remember, in the Bill Clinton administration, they had 23 million jobs created over his 8-year time frame. In Ronald Reagan, there was only 16 million jobs created in that time frame. But our Republican friends have, put our Ronald Reagan into a royal category. There's a tremendous amount of idolatry towards Ronald Reagan. They just love him. They've had all these places named after him, and he would never have done this. Of course, he raised taxes 11 times. He worked with Tip O'Neill to secure Social Security for 25 years. He admitted he was wrong in the Iran-Contra affair, and that's the way it was. But they have to have an authority figure that they can just love. And of course, it couldn't be George Bush 1. Because he said no new taxes, then he raised taxes, and it can't be George Bush 2 because he just sucked, So it has to be something else. So you go back to Reagan. Now, Dr. Krugman points out, that the second thing was idolatry. The first thing was Obama Derangement Syndrome. The second thing is Reaganology, the idolatry of Reagan. And the third thing is the confidence con in reference to all that. And that is that even though we've had these millions of jobs being created, the Republicans and the business environment are basically trying to indicate, you didn't do that, we created those jobs. No, there was a stimulus. There has been an increase in some taxes on the rich. And there was a sequestration. And look at the jobs that have been created. Look how many more jobs could have been created if we had better taxes on those on the things that needed to be taxed and a higher stimulus. And this is what he calls the confidence con. And that only businesses can create jobs. Now, again, how is this going to affect 2016? I don't really know. I don't think that the Obama Derangement Syndrome can really last that much longer. He's been around for about 8 years. He hasn't tanked the economy, even though they say he's tanked the economy. So we will see what's happening. And maybe it'll happen pretty soon. I'm not really sure. Will whoever runs in 2016, they'll bow to Ronald Reagan. But again, if we continue with the job growth that we've had, even though it should be greater, I could see that the Republicans are going to have a lot of implications in terms of how they're going to deal with the fact that there are many, many more jobs created, and that Obamacare has not fallen under its own weight, and Ronald Reagan doesn't deserve the idolatry that he's getting.